So taking a fall. So who do falls happen to? No, not everybody. The other guy, right? Not me, it's him. Right? I'm never going to fall. I know what I'm going to do. I never fall. And no one ever wakes up in the morning and says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fall today. And it's going to hurt. No, we always say it's the other guy who's going to fall. That other person's going to take that fall. So let's take a look at that guy who I'm pretty sure didn't wake up this morning and think he's going to fall. Let's fix the tarp there on the truck. Here we go. Oh, didn't say that. You do know it to be something that flies down right here. We're not 100% sure what it is. Right there.
Keys.
Any cell phone? It could be a cell phone. Someone else said keys. I did this training somewhere else. That's just keys flying. I'm like, well, probably. So yeah, you look at this. This guy, one, he had the railings that weighed tight, right? Technically by OSHA, that is approved. You have weight tight railings, you don't need fall protection on it. But this is a mining site, then technically he still needs to be tied off for an MSHA. We'll talk a little about that here in a second. So what happened? He fell. Why? He got complacent. Falls only happen to the other guy, right? I've done it 100 times. I've leaned over that railing 100 times. Well, 101, the guy took a fall, and that was a direct head hit. That guy's hurting. He's not feeling good. So who protects workers out there from falls? Who sets the standards? Keeps us safe from falling when we're on these job sites. MSHA, I got to bring that up first. That's Mine Safety and Health Administration. That's the guys who, if you dig a bucket of dirt into the ground, you're under MSHA. If you think OSHA is bad, MSHA is 10 times worse. The rig I'm wearing, full body harness, our underground guys, even though they're going under, and even if they're going to work around a hole or not, they've got to wear fall protection on 100% of the time. We had a little step ladder. There's 2 steps, nothing bad, nothing big. It got taken away by MSHA because we stepped up on it, tried to change out a light bulb. We only had 2 points of contact. We needed 3. Technically, we're in violation. That ladder got taken away. To boot, if I go to touch a light bulb to change it out and I'm not an electrician, that's another no-no. So that's the difference between OSHA and MSHA.
MSHA or union rules?
MSHA. It's actually MSHA rules.
Yeah, I have a plumber flush the toilet for you.
They're pretty darn close. If MSHA could get away with it, they would. Their standards, anytime there's a risk of a fall, you can be a foot off the ground, you can be 300 feet off the ground. If you get them tied off, there's a risk for a fall. OSHA, that's one a lot of you guys are probably familiar with. Occupational Safety Health Administration. Their standard is if you're over 6 feet in the air. You can be 6 feet up in the air and not be tied off, according to OSHA. ANSI. ANSI really isn't a governing agency. They don't set standards. What they do is they rate equipment. If something's ANSI rated, let's say with fall protection system, if it's OSHA rated, you can have, I think it's 1,500 pounds of force exerted on the body when you fall. ANSI rated is 900 pounds of force exerted on your body. If you're buying safety equipment, you want to buy something that's a little bit better, a little bit safer, get stuff that's ANSI rated. ANSI goes above and beyond the recommendations by the federal government. Next was the National Roofer and Contractor Association. These are guys basically who do a bunch of roofing. For their workers specifically, to be a part of this association, your job site has to pass their test. And I guarantee you it goes well beyond OSHA, or OSHA standards as far as what you need to have there for employees, what needs to be in place. Next one is the United Union of Roofers, Waterproofers, and Allied Workers. To be a part of this union, you will have union reps come and inspect the job site. Make sure that bosses have the appropriate equipment out there, and that you're up to date in your training in it. If they don't have what the union likes, they can shut down a job site. They can pull their workers from it and say this isn't safe. Again, theirs goes beyond what OSHA recommends. Final one, kind of a surprise, a lot of guys telling me, is the CDC. Yes, work injuries is a disease, according to the CDC. They track all the numbers, they track the causes, they track the equipment. What they then do is they compile all this information, find out what's working, find out what's not, and they basically give it to all these organizations, say, here you go, this is what we found. Turns out the ANSI-rated harnesses aren't all they're cracked up to do. We've had more guys get injured than not injured. Here's the numbers, do what you want with them. But yes, to the CDC, workplace injuries is a disease, and they track all the numbers for that, work on prevention programs. So let's look at another fall. These gentlemen here, average day at work. Trust me, they did not think they're going to fall. Let's see what happens to them and what they might have differed from the other guy.
Is this simulated or is this actually
This is real. This is a real, this is a foreman, no doubt, videotaping his work.
Oh, shit.
So do you think those guys thought they were gonna fall?
Nope.
No, they cut that lower beam with no problem. They cut that sucker, it fell where you wanted it to fall. As you can see here though, they were tied off. Depending on the site, they may not necessarily had to have been tied off. They would have put railing up on that scaffolding. Technically, if it belongs for OSHA, as long as it's stick there at waist height, they don't have to be tied off. They can just go ahead and cut that beam. These guys had fall protection. How far did they fall? Inches, 6 inches, maybe if they're lucky, foot if they're unlucky. They were 30 feet up in the air. And what direction did you see they were falling in? Head first. They were going to take a head dive 30 feet down, right into concrete. So that's why we like fall protection, because we don't know when we're going to fall. Those guys didn't think they were. They probably thought that that job was safe. They were performing safe work. The unexpected happens.
Tied off to the same cable?
I think they were tied up to the same cable. What they will have a high tension cable above it, and they won't be tied into that, which is approved on all these sites. Again, we don't know when we're going to fall. That's why a lot of places up at the mine, we require 100% tie-up at all times. You don't know when you're going to take a fall. So types of fall protection. We're going to be looking here. My clicker, there we go. Belt harnesses. We're going to look at sit harnesses, chest harness, and then finally finish with a full body harness. So the first one here is the belt harness. This was tried and true and tested for years and years and years. We gave them to firefighters, we gave them to construction workers, rock climbers liked them too. Okay, it's all right. They do their job. We don't use them anymore. We found out why. I'll show you a video here why we no longer use these for dynamic falls. You do still see these for static falls. So people who put static tension on them, linemen will use them, mariners will use them. Why we don't use them for dynamic falls is for this reason.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really violent. That narrow belt, I don't care how thick it is, that's going on the soft part of your body, all that force.
Right straight up the front.
That was a 6-foot lanyard, non-shock absorbing. He had 5,000 pounds worth of force exerted on the center part of his body. Not on bone, on that soft, gushy, tissuey part that we like to see the injury patterns on. So again, that's why we don't see these for dynamic falls a lot. Next one's known as a sit harness. You see this a lot in recreational work. Some construction workers will still use sit harnesses or front anchoring harness. The reason why we don't use them a lot in construction work is because you have this anchoring point is right there in front of you. You start welding a joint, next thing you know, whoop, boss, I cut another lanyard. Again, it gets in your way. They don't really like them. The other problem with just a sit harness is due to physics, there's an interesting pattern you get when you fall. And when you take a fall, there's a risk of you actually slipping out of this harness if you're knocked unconscious. We'll show you this here. Here's a fall from a sit harness. So you can see at one point he's completely vertical. If the harness is fitted properly, no problem. It'll catch you every time. I can attest to that. I've rock climbed for years and years and years. I had falls like this. I never once slipped out of my harness. But you better damn well believe I had that harness snugged up nice and tight. Now go to a construction site with a guy who's got to wear it day in, day out. Do you think they always snug up their harnesses? No. We'll see guys, sometimes their leg loosely hanging down near their knees. This technically is supposed to be right. Oops, let me go too far. It's supposed to be right up at my chest level. I don't actually have mine on right now, so I'll adjust it. We'll see them up here, we'll see them down here. When we correct the guys when we see them. If they take a fall, it's not going to do good work for them. Next one is a chest harness. Again, there are some situations you'll still see just a chest harness. Mostly in mariners' work, they'll use a chest harnessing system. Usually, though, chest harness is in conjunction with a sit harness as well. And it gives you that bonus that if you do fall, it keeps you from flipping upside down. My one dummy back there, I have a sit harness with a chest harness hooked up. You guys will be able to check that out here during the demonstration part. So there's one little problem that comes with having a chest harness. So we're going to take a look here. Another false guy's got a chest, front strapping chest harness. Let's take a look at this. So if he wasn't knocked out before, yeah, now he's got a broken neck, he's missing teeth, and he definitely got knocked out at that point. I've seen this before rock climbing. Guys who think that they're going to be an extra safe for putting that chest harness on. They take a simple fall, one that I can easily recover from, and trust me, I don't recover from falls on rock climbing anymore, but got knocked out right away. His rigging went right up into his face, knocked him out. We had to actually rescue him. So here we go, full body harness. All the students put one on. These are all students from Marquette Junction. Stand up, guys, don't be shy. These are all the students from Marquette General School of EMT. There'll be future EMTs here. We're all wearing different variations of full body harness. I know. Should have had that advice sooner. Get out. So again, these are all examples of full body harnesses. It's the gold standard instructions. I think guys will pick on me more in a bit. Yeah. So again, it's the gold standard. Why your anchoring point behind you, so it's up out of your way. You can anchor up. You can hook up then. Mine actually has the hookup built into it. I can anchor up, go do my work, anchor out, my hands are free. The other benefit is that these harnesses spread that fall force over the maximum parts of your body, your legs, your hips, your chest. So it really helps kind of spread that force out. But here's the fall with a full body harness. Comes down. And you see it just catches over his whole body, gets his legs, gets his chest. He rebounds a little bit, but not bad. So again, that full body harness is going to spread that force out. Unlike that belt harness, that belt harness that puts it right in your stomach, full body spreads it out. So
There was a shock absorber.
that was not a shock absorber. No. We'll be showing shock absorbers here in a second.
Those are cool.
Yeah. So here's the problem now. If you pick the right harness for the job, all right, I'm going to my construction site, I'm going to wear a full body harness, I'm protected, correct? Not exactly, maybe. So even if we do choose that correct harness, what's hooking us from our harness to our anchor point is very important. They're called lanyards. That's what the technical term if you want to use them. I have a self-retracting one. Problem is, if you're not wearing the right type of lanyard, you might as well not be wearing a harness. It'll cause more damage than not. So we're going to watch a quick little video here, and I do need to warn you guys, you're going to see Sala videos, you're going to see Miller videos, you're going to see a bunch. I don't endorse any product. It's not like I'm saying Sala's better. It's not like I'm saying Miller's is better. All I'm saying is Sala's video for this is really, really good. So I'm not endorsing Sala specifically, but it is their video.
Hi, this is Rick Smith. Here we compare shock-absorbing fall protection lanyards and self-retracting lifelines. The impact forces generated in a fall are substantial. To illustrate this, we first are showing a nylon webbing fall restraint lanyard. No shock absorber here. The weight is 220 pounds of steel. Note the sudden stop and violent rebound. This short fall generated just over 4,000 pounds of impact force. OSHA says that we can transmit a maximum of 1,800 pounds, while the ANSI standard says 900 pounds. All DBI Sala products use that ANSI 900-pound number. So, how do they do that? The energy from the fall must be dissipated by spreading the force out over time. In the case of the lanyard and many SRLs, this is done by the controlled ripping of specially sewn webbing. In the case of this Easy Stop 2, two pieces of webbing are torn apart with a backup web strap so the tear is never complete. This next internal type lanyard has an elastic band inside to keep the length minimized while working. In the case of a fall, it extends to its full 6-foot length, and then the internal stitching starts to tear. One interesting note is that, except for the tag when it pops out, the lanyard still looks good after a fall.
As opposed to this.
Lastly, here's a DBI Ultralock self-retracting lifeline. This device has an internal braking system. The big deal with an SRL is the shortened fall distance. This means that you can use it close to the ground or next to lower obstacles. Very short fall distances also mean low impact forces and less danger of hitting other objects, and no lanyard hanging around.
So there's the different types. The two traditional ones you see is what's called an SRL or self-retracting lifeline. That's one of these suckers. I actually have one hooked onto my back. They're really nice. They'll speed up the line. But then if you fall, it's just like the seatbelt in your car. It locks up. So you're only falling about that distance. So we'll sort of pass that one on. You guys want to take a look at the SRL?